All right, everybody, we're here with Dr. Azad. As a reminder, if you guys are just now tuning in, Dr. Azad owns a commercial real estate firm called Five Rivers, a retail-based investment firm. And Dr. Azad, before we cut off to a quick break on the last segment, you mentioned something that I thought was key in that the Wall Street investment firms have fled back to the coasts, and you've doubled down on Middle America. And you also made a comment that real estate is a relationship business.
Oh yeah.
And it's hilarious that you get new entrants into the field. And look, I've only been in real estate for the past 4 years, owning single family rental properties. You've been doing this a lot longer than I have. But I was watching as the iBuyers were purely buying things off of spreadsheets and off of some model that they built, and they missed the component that at the end of the day makes you successful in the real estate business. It doesn't matter what sector it's in, it's the relationship.
Oh yeah.
So it sounds like, your background in psychology, you figured that out. I think you're in a really cool spot to get to invest in retail properties, because you also, the relationship business, your tenants are the heartbeat of the country. They're, the retail, the mom and pop business owners are your tenants. It's got to be a pretty cool position to be in as an owner of a firm like yours.
It feels it it makes my heart feel warm and good because I'm an American true and true. I love my country. And when I drive, I've done probably 5 or 10 cross country road trips. I like taking the little gray roads. And when I drive the highways, I see the generification of America. Everything kind of looks the same because it's all like the big box stuff. But when I get to be part of a center and I get to pick something and I get to meet and create and draw in mom and pops that are local, that are regional, that create color and balance and a personality to that center, whether it's in Slidell, Louisiana, or it's in Spring Hill, Tennessee, or
Yeah.
it's like you get to create this village that's harmonious, beautifully balanced village that when I was doing property management, I did every job in my company. So I would learn it from the inside out. My favorite thing just like when I was a psychiatrist, is to create this harmony where like it almost buzzes and sings happily because economy when you have something that's a really good economy like in America, the American economy, you have this energy to it, a happiness, a joy, because everybody gets to feel fruitful and is working and doing well together. And that's the key, doing well together. It
Yep.
is real estate is all about relationships. When you have a residential house, you want to see your
Yep.
tenants do well, right? When I have a commercial real estate building, I want to see my tenants do well because I want their customers to be happy. And it's good business because if my customer, the tenant is happy, they're going to renew. They're going to do 5-year option after 5-year option after 5-year option. My
Yep.
investors are going to do phenomenally well financially. So it's a win-win for everybody. And I think as we really focus on what works to build each other up from all aspects of the business, everybody gets to benefit in the abundance.
Mhm.
My whole business model in creating long-term generational wealth for regular families has been that there is enough abundance for all of us. There's
Yep.
a beautiful African proverb that I love, and it says, to go fast, go alone. To go far, go together.
Love it.
That's what we do here at Five Rivers. We are very blessed. We just took down, everybody was like, you're not ready, you're not ready. I was like, oh yeah, we're ready. I was like, it's time to go big game hunting. We just took down, we had 15 institutional bidders that we outbid and we won against. A tiny little southern, real estate, family owned small boutique shop just took down the largest outdoor shopping center in the entire state of Georgia.
Wow.
Busiest as well.
Good
We
for you
found
guys.
out, thank you. we found out that this was the largest outdoor retail shopping center deal done in the entire United States in the last 3 years.
That's amazing. Well done. Well
And
done.
not because of us, because we banded together.
Yeah,
We have 510 investors now. You know, how do you take an elephant down one bite at a time? Well, that's
that's
going to
right.
take forever. So how about we all swarm at the same time, right?
That's great.
And we work together.
So how did you, when everybody was fleeing retail, real estate a few years ago, Amazon scared everybody, I guess. Was that your key to just run into it? When everybody else was dropping like flies, did that tip you off like this is where I need to be?
Yeah, I'm a first responder at heart, and that comes from being a doctor as well, because I'm a contrarian. So when
Uh-huh.
everybody's running that way, I'm like, oh, there's not many people over there. There could be some
Yeah,
money to make over there. So I run that way.
that's
And
good.
I realized that we don't live, I mean, I love my iPad, I love my iPhone, I love, gadgets and data, but
Yeah,
I need this. I need connection. I need to, see a friendly face and go out. Like what did we miss during COVID? We didn't have that connection with people.
yeah,
So I didn't think that that need for a relationship would disappear.
no,
And if it's not going to disappear into online sales, because that is capped at about anywhere from 16 to 18%, and it ain't going higher post COVID.
interesting.
So we want to shop, we want to go out. The last 4 products I've bought, probably the last 2 million square feet I've done, has been lifestyle centers. With Placer AI, I can track the cell phone data. I know from the pings where the heat signatures are. I know how long you're on my campus. I know
That's
where you
amazing.
right. So yeah,
Wow.
it's a mix. I love tech.
Yeah,
So
that is really
and
cool.
it's amazing. In the last 6 months, I opened up a new tech division. We do data centers now at Five Rivers as
Oh,
well.
wow.
So, but I love it because you can see, they go, you go get a blouse. You may not go in a recession. You're not going to go to Europe, but you're going to go to out to dinner and buy a blouse, right?
100%.
And so you can see the connectedness. You go here, then you go to get an ice cream cone, then you go here.
Yeah.
You can see that real estate and economy is just the furtherance of human behavior and connectedness.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, look, my wife and I went to a brand new Mexican restaurant here in town in a retail shopping center in Germantown. And it's a brand new restaurant. There was an hour wait. They don't take reservations. And what did we do? We walked across the street and we bought some stuff before we went to dinner. So it really is like that. It is coming back. It's not going away. And you guys are amazing for being so successful at it, basically. We've got a couple minutes left before the end. So you guys actually, are you still adding investors? Can people invest in the fund now?
Yeah, I think we made 70 investors in this last year alone.
Wow. Okay.
I probably would do about a new 100 investors every year, year and a half. We are growing. My
That's cool.
goal we're at 700 million in assets now. In 2 years, I plan on being in a billion and then 5 billion in 5 years.
Wow. Okay. You got big goals to grow fast. What would
Yeah.
be the minimum attachment for a new investor that somebody could? You mentioned that they need to be accredited, which
Yes.
makes sense. What is the investment?
And accredited investors, anybody that makes 200 individually, 300 married together, has a million in assets, notwithstanding their home. So it's ratcheted up a little bit and has some experience so that you can do your due diligence and you kind of know how to evaluate or ask some questions and evaluate.
Yeah.
So my lowest amount is like $50,000. So, and if you don't even have that, I'll teach you legal Zoom. You go on in 2 hours, you've got an LLC, grab a few friends, everybody puts in like 20,000 a piece.
Oh,
Boom.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody should get into investing and get those
Agreed.
passive income streams coming in,
Yeah.
right? Because that way you have freedom to do your own job, your own passion, your own dreams, and you're not constrained. Passive income is incredible because it's not only It allows you to live your dreams, but
Yeah.
it also is mostly tax-free because it's tax deferred.
Yep.
And because you can depreciate so much within real estate, specifically retail, because we do a cost segregation analysis when we buy a property. I figure out every single bit that we can start depreciating from the get-go.
Yep.
When I pay out my monthly distributions to all my investors, and they get their schedule. We have in-house accounting. We get their Schedule K1 to them. They can do TurboTax or give it to their CPA. Box number 2 usually has a negative number. So not only have you made distributions,
Yeah.
mailbox money the whole year,
Yeah.
I've usually been able to depreciate enough where you can offset your other passive positive income. So
Yep. I
there's
love depreciation. If you're a real estate investor, is one of the most powerful tools in the tax code that the IRS gives anybody. And I want to talk about that. Unfortunately, we've got Dr. Azad in the next 2 shows, so we're gonna have to put that conversation on pause, basically, Dr. Azad. But you guys have heard me in the past. We've talked about cost segregation, depreciation. You guys are about to hear it from one of the biggest investors we've had on the show about how to deploy it. So we're going to talk about that our next episode. So Dr. Zod, thank you. This has been a great show. We appreciate you being around. And everybody, we're going to, in the show basically here. Thanks for joining us for today's show. We're here every single week on Thursday at 5 o'clock Central on the Now Media Network. On demand, we're over the air in a lot of major markets. We're on the radio nationally. So appreciate you guys tuning in as always every week. I'm Andrew Glisson, and we'll see you guys next week.
This has been a Now Media Networks feature presentation. All rights reserved.